Today we will be presenting two of the programs. One is 6 weeks, one is 12 weeks. Different focus areas. I will get into the details in a second, but let me just summarize again what we do. Right, BFG is a VC investor, but we also build companies. So on, I guess this slide is pretty cool because it summarizes all the most important facts. We invest 70 to 100K tickets. We have over 20 startups that we have incubated in-house, that we also invested in. The team is over 10 people, big now. We do equity only, primarily. In exceptional cases, we would also consider token investments. Obviously, it's a Web3 accelerator, incubator. Therefore, our focus is strictly Web3. We don't care where you are, so you can work wherever you want, from wherever you want. You can be based wherever you want. We have a remote and international first approach. And I think most importantly is the statement that we try to identify teams and entrepreneurs before they build the MVP, because that's a very interesting stage. A lot of people struggle with getting a foot down as an entrepreneur, and we want to step in and help exactly at that stage. A glimpse of, our previous investments. In total, we have made over 50. 20 of them are startups that went through the accelerator and incubator. So you see them in the middle box. You might know a few, and on the right-hand side, you see, direct investments. We do have, our cousins, our blockchain founders, Capital. They can invest direct tickets up to 500,000 euros. Briefly, also what we try to cover, basically all Web3 areas that you can think of. But I think important to mention here is that we try to get into areas that are untapped or innovative enough to be explored. So if there's any team currently sitting in this room and you're thinking to build the next OpenSea or the next Binance, decentralized exchange, then, you're a bit too late. So 2 years too late, to be precise. So basically what we try to identify are entrepreneurs that have ideas, that want to proceed with ideas that are relevant enough and competitive enough to be sustaining for the next 2 years. A glimpse also to the team with 6 very, very operative Web3 people. Myself, my colleagues, all Web3 degens. We've been in the space for a lot of years. I mean, a few years, but a few years is already a lot, I would presume. And we have, we specialize in company building. So anything, especially if you start from scratch, if you're in a stage where you're pre-MVP, pre-revenue, and you fail to get fundraise done, you fail to get product market fit, that's what we specialize in. And that's what we have been doing for the past years. We have a very strong network of advisors. I know these days a lot of people call themselves advisors, but actually we pay our advisors, our selected advisors. So people, not all of this page, but a lot of people in this page, we actually compensate. So they have skin in the game. They have an interest to really, push our startups as well. So there is an incentive, and they will help and support our startups where it's needed. And finally, now coming to, the program. So essentially the message is this, right? Launch your Web3 startup, your crypto startup within 2 to 3 months. That's the promise. So you come in with, with or without an idea, with or without a team, we would take you in, we would validate and challenge you to your idea. And then we would, and also in specific case, we would create a completely new idea, would pivot, would challenge you. And then in the end of the day, after the 2 to 3 months, you will become, in the best case, you'll become CEO of your venture. And we will put a bit of money in your venture as well. Of course, in return for equity that BFG would get. Depending on which program you land into, you will also receive compensation, right, for your time. We understand that a few people here are still employed or are not employed. Whatever the case, we want to support you somehow, so you get a small compensation as well. Just to give you also a glimpse of previous founders, feel free to look them up, right? You can search them on LinkedIn. They very, very present. We made sure that, if you type in their first name and the last name, you will find them probably first top 3 results. That's what we made sure as well. And you can check their startups, you can check their journey, very interesting people. And I think what I want to mention here is that, again, we make sure that it's remote first. Most of the entrepreneurs I've just seen after 6 months, right? So we've been working 6 months every week. So we've almost seen each other almost on a daily basis. But in person, I see them like maybe every year once, right? So remote first and international first, because we believe that region and location where you're based should not be a limitation for yourself. So wherever you are, we would be happy to take you in. And then finally, we make sure that our founders stay majority shareholder, right? So that there's a right incentive. You will keep 90 to 94 or 96% of the equity of your firm. Just a few statistics. We get around 1,000 applications per year. We have a lot of partners, a lot of investors in our network. We do average ticket size, again, 70 to 100K. We have a lot of events. And again, here are a few of the startups that we have incubated, and the same startups have received grants from the right-hand side. So yeah, that is growing. And it proves that, the quality of our startups is indeed good enough to be getting grants, to get, equity-free grants from protocols, because they want our startups. Testimonials. By the way, you will receive this deck after this session as well. So you can read everything up again. Our application is pretty straightforward. You apply, we will invite you. If the application is successful, we will be invited to an interview. And then from there, it's going to be really quick. We'll onboard you, and then immediately we'll start building, right? So the building part is 12 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks, depending which program you apply for. And then in the end of the day, we will invest 70 or 100K into your startup. Just a quick glimpse to the difference, right? So we have the Superstars program and we have the Adrenaline program. So, and the only difference is which stage you are. So if you don't have an idea, you don't have an MVP, you don't have a team, so you're basically just yourself, then the Superstars program is perfect for you, because the only thing we need there is that you're willing to start a Web3 business and that you're willing to go into entrepreneurship. If that is your motivation, then we'll help you. And then there's what we found out after 2 years is there are teams that are at a very tricky situation. They have an MVP, they have a team, but they don't have revenue. And that is a very tricky stage, because you're too early for VCs, so they won't invest in you. Maybe you don't have the network to angels, so they won't invest in you, but you have a product and you think if you get the money, then you will be able to accelerate. And that's why we came up with the Adrenaline program. It's a 6 weeks fast track program where we specialize in exactly, working with people that are in this tricky spot in between ideation and VC money. So the only thing that you need is basically somebody who challenges you and gets you to the first dollar of revenue, right? And that's what we focus on in the Adrenaline program. So to recap, if you don't have a team and you don't have an idea, apply for the Superstars program. If you have a team and you have an idea, go for the Adrenaline program. We are also news. It's fortunately and unfortunately, it's all in German. So if you want to read up, feel free to scan the codes. Been featured in BTC Echo and BN Crypto. To also wrap it up, we have 3 checkpoints. So this is basically how our program works. We have a warm-up phase. The first 2 weeks are sort of, feeling out whether we can work together, whether the program is the right fit for you, and vice versa. And then after that, we go immediately over to phase 2, where we have 3 checkpoints. Immediately in the first week, we'll go live. I know it sounds crazy, but it is possible. You get an idea and you immediately go live, meaning you have a website you have a corporate identity, you have a logo, you have a branding, BFG will help you with that, so that you can actually can go live within 1 week. And then from there, it's all about speeding up and getting your product market validated on the market. That's why we need to go live. The second checkpoint is actually go to market. So how can you not just go to market and sort of go online and click the button that you publish the website, but also how can you systematically grow your brand presence? So it's in checkpoint 2, we'll deal a lot about growth hacking, outreach, marketing, and all that stuff, so that people see you and see what you build. And then in checkpoint 3, we would then prepare for fundraise for the funding that you get from BFG. So we'll explain to you how the investor thinks, what to take, what to prepare in order to be successful in such a pitch, and so on and so forth. And then we will talk about how to do the legal stuff. Yeah, and just I guess one more comment here. We differentiate between the main sessions. So that's like a weekly Monday call. But in between, we also have tactical workshops. We'll invite external people who are experts in let's say, legal, sales and marketing, fundraise, business basics, finance, and stuff like that. So everything that where we can, basically be a shortcut to our founders. That's what we will deal with in tactical workshops. And then we will have stand-up sessions. That's sort of a weekly closing where we talk about progress, challenges, maybe where founders can learn from each other, right? Because we share experiences, but also direct feedback from the BFG team. So that is the structure. Monday check-in, Friday check-out, and then in between we have tactical workshops. What can you expect from the BFG Superstars and Adrenaline program? Of course, mentorship and advice, candid, constructive, and I would say honest feedback, right? We have no incentive to lie to you. We have no intention to, put you back or set you off. We have an interest in, making you the best founders and essentially giving you money in the end, investing in you, right? So we will give you the most honest feedback so we both profit from it. Also clear, you can expect clear actions, what to actually do. And I think I want to emphasize here that a lot of times when you get feedback, it's like very generic, like, the story can be better. Tell the story as if, you're not selling something, but you want to build a relationship and stuff like that. But that's very, very generic, right? So what do we mean with actionable feedback? It means that we will tell you to make 5 calls with these 5 people to really grow and get better in storytelling. To every time after you pitch, you get better. And so we will plan it out for you, and we will push you so that you can do it yourself. And then, of course, we'll invite external people to further validate your idea. And then lastly, of course, it's a BFG network that you will be joining. So everyone who has joined our network has been an addition to the family. And whenever you need feedback to any future idea that you have, or whatever it is with related to Web3, we will listen to you, and we will hear you and possibly give you feedback there as well.